Well, then he can drive you around then.
It does sometimes, yeah.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. That's good for 15-year-olds.
Close enough?
Go right ahead. Don't tell Stephanie I said you could. Let's go.
Good morning. We'll start with the flag salute. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Shawnee County Board of County Commissioners. It's May 25th, 2023. And on my immediate right is Commissioner Kevin Cook, who represents District 2. On my left is Commissioner Aaron Mays, who represents District 3. I'm Bill Rippon, and I represent District 1. And on my far right is our County Councilor, Jim Crowell, and on our far left, Cindy Beck, our County Clerk. Speaking of which, what's first on the agenda?
First item is item 1, proclamations, presentations. A, Board of County Commissioners recognition of Capital Federal Foundation and Parks for All Foundation working in collaboration as Capital Federal serves as the title sponsor for the 2023 Spirit of Kansas scheduled at Lake Shawnee, put on by Parks and Recreation.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kimberly Wolf, Shawnee County Parks and Rec and the Parks for All Foundation. This morning, we are here to acknowledge and thank Capital Federal for their continued support of the Spirit of Kansas. And as you all know, the Spirit of Kansas is a beautiful event held each year on July 4th at Lake Shawnee. Today, we have with us John Dykes, Tammy Dishman, and Tom Hagan somewhere in the back. There you are. Here from Capital to Federal to present their generous donation of $25,000. John?
Don't know really what to say. Everybody's covered it so far, and I think we've been doing this for a little over 20 years. And Capital Federal, the bank, and our foundation are proud to sponsor or partner with the Shawnee County Parks and Rec and Shawnee County to present the Spirit of Kansas Festival and the fireworks. This is something that has been very important to us. This started back in 2002. With our donation and the support of that, and we appreciate everything you do to help bring that spirit to Northeast Kansas and Shawnee County each year. So with that, we'll present a check for the fireworks for $25,000 to partner with others.
That's very good.
I think we got a cute little check.
That is very fancy.
I think this deserves a photo op here.
Probably wants to come up here, guys.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, the commercial, man. All right. I don't know if we can get us all in the photo. Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Everybody loves it. We're excited already.
All right, Madam Clerk, what's next?
Next item is item B, recognition of Shawnee Heights High School senior Riley Showalter, who received the 2023 Kansas Association of Clerks and County Election Officials Scholarship. So, Andrew Howell, would you like to come up? And Riley, would you like to come up here? Kansas County Clerks Association, every year we have when we have our association meeting, they select an individual who, all across the state, who has submitted their application for our scholarship. The scholarship has been going on since I've been here, and I've been here since, the beginning of time. So we've had Shawnee County's been fortunate to have some some students over the years. And I think Shawnee Heights leads the pack, so the rest of the schools in the county need to kind of step up, because I think the most we've ever gotten has been from Shawnee Heights. But Riley she won. She was selected out of a group of 56 applications that we received this year. And we normally give out 10 $500 scholarships, but this year, two of the districts, can't remember which ones, but two of the districts across the state gave out additional $500, and one was actually in memory of Barb Jones, who was a former clerk who passed away last year, and so her district decided to put an extra $500. So our association has given out, so we've given out we're giving out a lot of scholarships this year. So, Andrew, you want to talk a little bit about the funding?
Yeah, just one of the things that our association does is we actually do a fundraiser event every year, have an auction, and do some additional fundraising. So a lot of the clerks actually pay for this themselves. So we're proud of it. We're also proud of your effort. You've got a very nice GPA. And I might, if you would like to, right before we present this to you, just talk just briefly about kind of your plans going forward. And again, congratulations on being selected.
Thank you. Yeah. My name is Riley Showalter. First off, I just want to say thank you for this scholarship. This is going to be my third summer working a summer job, so I understand how long it takes to make a chunk of money. So thank you for that. And when deciding where to go to school, I had a tough choice. See, my mom is the youngest of 7, and all of her siblings graduated from K-State. And my parents met at K-State. I have several cousins going to K-State, and my brother is going to be a junior now at K-State. So I decided to go to KU. I'm also going to go to K-State.
But Mr. Ripple's got a heart attack. She's going to K-State, she really is.
Going to K-State. But growing up in 4-H, I've been involved in that and agriculture stuff for my whole life. So I've decided to study agribusiness, and I'm excited to take that with me as I go into college and my adult life. So thank you again.
That's great.
Congratulations.
Very good. Riley, we'd like to do a photograph with you.
The other one's just, this is your actual.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Good news, you're at K-State.
Her entire family was going. This is a way to start a meeting.
All right, Madam Clerk, what do we have next?
We have item C under proclamations presentations. Sertoma donation of hearing devices to the Treasurer's Office and Motor Vehicle Annex.
Good morning, Commissioners. Larry Maw, Shawnee County Treasurer. For 27 years, the Sertoma Club of Topeka has sponsored the great duck race out at Lake Shawnee. The recipients of the fundraiser it's long and distinguished. I'm going to name a few just to give you an example. The Villages, Marion Clinic, Meals on Wheels, Head Start, LULAC, Ronald McDonald House, Big Brothers and Big Sisters, Boys and Girls Clubs, the Capper Foundation, the Children Miracle Network, the East Topeka Senior Center, Safe Streets, KVC, and TARC, just to name a few. That's not a complete list. In addition, they have a mission to help with hearing health. And they're here today to present hearing devices for the use in the Treasurer's Office. So I want to introduce George Liberta. I said that right, correct? And Jimmy Brewer, and Julie and Dan
Thank you, Larry. As members of Sertoma is an international civic service club. We actually are the third oldest civic club in the world. Our national mission is hearing health, as Larry said, and here in Topeka we have three primary programs that help hearing. One is a program called Safe Ears, in which we put on a presentation to fourth grade students talking about the ill effects of noise-induced hearing loss, loud machinery, earbuds in ears, and so forth. On the other age spectrum, we have a program for the elderly called SHARP, Sertoma Hearing Aid Recycling Program, in which we gather used hearing aids, have them rebuilt, and give them free of charge to needy elderly individuals. We also understand that people that can't afford a hearing aid also probably can't afford the batteries, so we give a lifetime supply of batteries. And then the program we're here basically talking about today is a looping project. A looping project is for somebody that has a hearing aid. They know that a hearing aid merely amplifies the sound, which means not only who you're conversing with, but also background noise. So a room like this, we could loop, having wires go around, and somebody that has a hearing aid with a T-coil, they can flip the switch. The person talking in the microphone is as if they're talking directly into their ears, so they can hear perfectly. We have looped the Kansas Children's Discovery Center. We have looped the main theater at Topeka Civic Theater. In the process, we are planning to loop a concert hall at Washburn University that's going to be built, and the Jayhawk Theater. And then, which brings us to today, you can also have a portable looping device. This is a device, once again, for an individual that has a T-coil on the hearing aid. A person can speak into the microphone. The person can hear perfectly what that person is talking about. It works for a distance of about 5 feet. We have given a looping device like this to Stormont Vale Hospital, the Camper Foundation, the Topeka Shawnee County Public Library, the Washburn Mabee Library, and now we're contributing this to the Treasurer's Office to help perhaps at the where tags are given out and so forth. So somebody that has a difficult time hearing, they can flip that switch, the person can talk into a little microphone, and they can hear perfectly what is being said. So on behalf of the Topeka Evening Sertoma Club and the Topeka Heartland Sertoma Club, we will make this presentation to you. So, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm very familiar with the looping system. Terry Cuthbert, raise your hand, Terry. Terry and I, we installed the very first looping system in Topeka at the Children's Discovery Center. I remember we pulled up carpet squares and put it all in, and we were able to test it, and it worked great.
Off balance here a little bit.
All right.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Add one more. Great, thank you.
Thank you. How are you doing? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Good to see you.
Yeah.
All this fun stuff. Poor Tim's got to go next.
We get a picture afterward.
Is that a forbear? Okay.
Madam Clerk, what is next?
Under unfinished business, item A, consider authorization and execution of contract C-146-2023 with Game Time in care of Cunningham Rec for the purchase and installation of playground equipment and engineered wood fiber surfacing in Chesney Park at a cost of $146,953.96, including delivery and installation. The purchase is through the Omni U.S. Communities Cooperative with funding provided by the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, deferred from May 4th and May 11th of 2023.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tim Laurent, Shawnee County Parks and Recreation Department. So as we started this process, we were going to do wood fiber. Now we've decided that we want to do pour-in-place safety surfacing. Really, I'll just kind of try to summarize this as quickly as I can. In order for us to do that process, to bid it out with our concrete vendor and our pour-in-place surface vendor, we can save essentially just under $34,000 if we do that. So the grand total for us to do it would be $196,588. And again, that's for them to do it, for our vendor to do all of it. It was $230,450. So that's a savings of almost $34,000. And I'm happy, we're happy to do that. That would be my recommendation, is that we move forward and have the playground installed, and then we'll come in right afterwards and take care of the rest. So be happy to answer any questions.
Mr. Mays?
Well, that's my preference as well.
That, mine too. I think we do something new, we need to make it accessible, and the more playgrounds we can make accessible, the better. So I think that's good, the best route to go.
We delayed the project by a couple weeks by talking about this too much, but we saved $35,000.
There you go.
I feel pretty good about that,
Yep.
so.
Me too.
Me too. So I'll move that we proceed that way.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Tim, you're not going to get a photograph, so. Next item.
Item 3, consent agenda.
I would move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item 4, new business. A, County Clerk number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Commissioners, this morning we have vouchers that total $2,187,169.94. Some of the highlights out of that voucher report: under building and maintenance, the basement tack shop, $31,456.50 is for replacement of stolen horse jumps from the Stormont Vale Event Center. Under Neal Painting and Special Coatings, including totaling $85,167.63 is for the Oakland Gym painting, Garfield Pool, Hillcrest Pool, Rossville Pool, sandblasting and repainting. Central Mechanical Construction Company Incorporated for $11,170.73 is for Hillcrest Aquatic Plumbing Repair. Under the Elections Commissioner, Election System and Software LLC for $173,944.30 is for annual maintenance and software licenses for election equipment. Under the Parks and Administration, paid with ARPA SLFRF funds, KBS Constructors Incorporated for $441,242.67 is for Lake Shawnee Campground Project. And finally, under Solid Waste Recycling, the Rarig Pacific Company for $19,950 is for black refuse totes. I do not have any questions regarding the vouchers and would move for their approval.
Second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
I'd move that we approve the correction orders.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item A3, consider approval of resolution number 2023-35, authorizing a temporary 2023 cereal malt beverage license to Ronald Ruiz to sell beer at the 2023 Music Fest event located at 4124 Northeast Briar Road, Topeka, Kansas, on May 26th, 27th, and 27th of 2023. And this, as it says here, this is a temporary permit for those, just those 2 days. County Council's office has reviewed it. We had to do our normal research, and with the contact townships, they had no objection to it. KBI report came back clean, and we recommend approval so they can have their backyard music fest, 2023 backyard music fest.
I will move for approval if there's no questions.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next.
Item B, Public Works. Number 1, consider a request to increase contract C-144-2023 by almost 30% from $92,530 to $120,000. This contract covers pavement repairs to the DOC Adult Detention Center's north parking lot. The additional construction costs will be paid by using the 2023 building roof and parking lot funds.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kurt Niehaus, Director of Public Works. Just first off, I want to say the parking lot project out at the Department of Corrections Adult Detention Center is going just fine. Unfortunately, when we peeled away the asphalt, the underlying concrete was in worse shape than we anticipated. So I'm here before you asking you to increase the amount of the contract with Sunflower Paving from basically $92,500 to $120,000 to account for the increased pavement removal and replacement, the concrete underlying pavement removal and replacement. Just as a reminder, even with this increase, we're still $40,000 below my estimate from early this year when you first approved this project. With that, I look forward to any questions that you might have.
Any questions? Mr. Mays?
No.
Okay. I would move for approval.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item B2, consider a request to reject bids for a benefit district-funded paving project on Southwest 55th Terrace, Southwest Maupin Lane in Timber Ridge subdivision. This is Shawnee County Project S601017.00.
Kurt Niehaus, Director of Public Works. On May 17th, we had a bid letting for a benefit district project in Timber Ridge subdivision. As you can see from the material that I have provided, the bids came in well above the engineer's estimate. The engineer's estimate was around $235,000, and both bids came in at approximately $400,000. At the time I wrote this memo, the developer had not decided yet what he wanted to do going forward, and there was some anticipation that that the developer may want to wait a while. That is not the case. Since then, the developer has decided to re-let the project, but remove the storm sewer part from the project. So essentially, the benefit district project becomes a paving project only. The storm sewer portion of the previously let project will be paid for by the developer 100%. So that is the plan. They remove the drainage portion of the project. That gets done concurrently with the paving, the street portion. Actually, it's done slightly before because you're working underneath the future pavement. It would be paid for 100%. The drainage would be paid for 100% by the developer, and then the paving project would be the benefit district project. Questions?
So this would reduce the specials significantly.
Yeah, well, it'll bring the project within the budget of the original benefit district, so the specials to the people that buy the property, it'll be transparent. I mean, there won't be a change. They won't see the difference.
Okay.
Commissioner Rippon.
Yes.
Kurt, are you or is the planning department going to be going out and making sure that the storm drains are constructed at the same time? I understand that the developer said that he's doing it at his cost and it will be done at the same time, but who's actually making sure that it is done?
Remember, as part of the benefit district, we have a consultant on board that's providing inspection. Even though they are paid by the developer, we make it clear who they're working for. So we will have inspection on both the storm drainage portion that's paid 100% by the developer and the street project that's a benefit district project. That'll all be inspected by a consultant in conformance with our specifications.
Kurt, is this in the 3-mile radius where the city of Topeka would need to be involved?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, and are they aware of this, or? does it matter?
Personally, I don't think it matters.
Okay. All right, well then, I'll move that we reject the bids
I'll second.
And
Wait, you want to rebid?
and
Maybe.
relet
the
with
project.
removal of storm drain,
Okay, with the modifications.
just to be clear.
I'll second that. Motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kurt. Next item.
Item C, Parks and Recreation. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-168-2023, sole source with Gardner Roofing, Inc., replacing the Crestview Community Center roof and 10 skylights using a TAMCO warranty settlement. The funding is $95,050, $83,098 from TAMCO, and $11,952 from the department operating budget.
Good morning, Commissioner. John Bell, Park Superintendent for Parks and Recreation. We are seeking approval to move forward with a sole source request. This is warranty work, but the sole source request would be with Gardner Roofing. They actually installed the original roof or the current roof in 2011. The existing roof is leaking, and so we submitted a warranty claim with TAMCO, and we won the claim. So we got $25,848 for materials and $57,250 for labor. So basically, we are asking for approval to spend $11,952 out of operating budget. So we are getting, the taxpayers of Shawnee County are getting a $95,000 roof for $11,952. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions?
Move for approval.
I do have a
Okay.
quick question. So the skylights, were they, were the roof leaks at all associated with the skylights?
The skylights are some of the problem. The skylights that are currently in place are about 35 years old, and they need to, the average lifespan of a skylight's about 20 years, 15 to 20 years. So those are in need of being replaced. And so the plan is to just do it all at one time. That way everything's tight and the building hopefully will not have any more issues.
Okay, so my follow-up question is, are the skylights something we need? Like, are they, I guess I look at it and I think, well, the life expectancy is probably not great, and we've got $24,000 in them, but I don't want to, if they, it's 10 skylights, if they don't last 35 years, evidently the last ones are made pretty well, but, is that something we explored at all?
Commissioner, we actually did discuss boxing those in and having it all framed in so it would match, the ceiling would all be consistent and look the same. The cost to do that would be about $50,000 to $60,000.
So it was more.
So, yes,
Okay.
because you got to get inside and get lifts on, and then lifts from the inside on that gym floor. We were kind of hesitant to want to move forward with that, but we did certainly explore that option.
I appreciate you taking the initiative and looking into that, so thank you. I'll second.
I approved it then?
No, motion.
Oh,
was made.
who made the motion?
I made the motion.
You made the motion, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Thank you. Next item.
Item C2, consider authorization and execution of contract C-169-2023 with Lankford Enterprises, Inc. for the emergency purchase repair of the water-damaged Hillcrest Community Center gym floor and 3 racquetball courts at an estimated repair cost of $156,100. Approval is requested to use $132,003.04 in contingency funds. Travelers Insurance has issued a settlement claim of $24,096.96.
Good morning, John Bell, Park Superintendent, Parks and Recreation again. We are asking for approval to move forward on this emergency request. April 5th, we had a water leak, a water line into the hot water heater at Hillcrest broke. It was at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Luckily, we had staff on site. They immediately attended the issues, called facility maintenance. We addressed the issue as soon as we could possibly get to it. Unfortunately, we did lose the gym floor and 3 racquetball floors. We've worked with Travelers Insurance. We had 4 different agents come to town and look at the floor. Because of the deductible, the $100,000 deductible, and then some depreciation value, the Travelers gave us $24,096.96. It's worth mentioning that I did meet with Cincinnati Insurance. That is the company that we have our boilers with. I met with Stephanie Burns yesterday, and they did review the property, and they are going to decide whether or not they're going to give us any kind of claim Monday. So Cindy Beck and John Morgan helped us get that initiated. So there's a chance that we might be able to get more money from these repairs from insurance, but that is still to be determined. But we're asking to move forward. The gym floor at Hillcrest is heavily used, and it's going to take about 3 weeks to get the maple in, because we're going back with a 1.5-inch maple. So the sooner we can get moving on this, the better. That way we can hopefully have a fall and winter use in the gym. So I'd be happy to answer any questions.
When this floor was redone just recently, K-State made a contribution, and then they put their emblem on the gym floor. Is the new floor going to be without a K-State emblem?
No, the old floor and the new floor will look exactly the same. That's been one thing that we've been adamant about, and insurance has been pushing that. So all the logos, Security Benefit had a logo, there were a couple other logos there, and the big power cat in the middle will be there. Tim tried to get me to get a KU logo, but we couldn't do it.
You know, that Power Cat logo may have been what jinxed the boiler.
Right, right.
No, that's not what happened. No. All right, you say it was the water line going into a water heater, a boiler, or what?
The water heater.
Water heater.
Yeah. And from what I was told, it was shooting out, and there's a video that bounced around that Clay Neal took, 12 gallons of water per second. So it wasn't a drip by any means. So, and we had staff, luckily it was at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 o'clock at night, or in the middle of the night, because we probably would have lost a lot more.
And this company that put in the water heater, they did all the plumbing for that installation? As far as
Yeah, those lines were old. That was the city of Topeka. They installed all of that.
Okay.
So I don't know exactly, much more than this. It was when the city had the community center. So.
Okay. All right. Yes.
So this is the second big water main break that's caused a lot of damage in the county. The other was at jail last winter, and I guess we have one at the courthouse as well, so 3. Have we looked at the other community centers, make sure this is not going to happen again? Yep. Inspect those pipes and maybe get some estimates on fixing it before it happens?
I was hoping you'd ask that question. The week that this happened was actually the first time our facility staff had a full crew. And so we have since, now that we have the manpower, we have them going around on a monthly basis inspecting the water lines and hoping that we can, avoid any of these issues in the future. So they are getting inspected routinely now that we have a full crew.
Okay. Well, keep us posted on how that goes, and if there's any that need to be replaced, I'd rather do it on the front side than the back side. So.
Absolutely.
It's the second time you've known the answer to the question before I asked it, so that's good.
Okay, well, I would move for approval.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Thank you, John. Next item.
And Commissioner, because I want to say just quickly that John Morgan in my office, he is, of course, he works with me with the insurance, and he was the one, he saw the video. He had not seen it prior to the actual claim with Travelers. If this goes through, our deductible with Cincinnati is $1,000 because it's strictly for boilers. So if it is, you'll have a whole different, so this could be a whole different picture here. So
Wow.
that's why we don't just have one, we don't just have one insurance that covers it. We have a lot of ancillary insurances, specialized coverages, so just for your, and I was proud of John to do that. That's his job. Both John Bell and John Morgan. That's their jobs, and they did it.
Thank you.
What will we do without our John?
I know.
Next item.
Item D, Stormont Bailey Event Center. Number one, consider authorization and execution of contract C-170-2023 with TBS Electronics for the purchase of new emergency communications radios and digital repeater system using state of Kansas contract pricing at a cost of $73,495. The request was approved as part of the CPI budget last year.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kellen Seitz, OVG 360 in the Stormont Vale Event Center. The request before you today is paid for out of capital outlay funding. This was a request we made during the 2023 budgeting cycle, and you approved as part of the 5-year CIP plan. This project is actually coming in a little bit under budget, not by much, but about $1,500 under budget. So happy to answer any questions you might have on this project.
Questions?
I'll move for approval.
I'll second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item D2, consider request to amend and increase the 2022 budget allocation for Stormont Valley Event Center by $127,044, utilizing contingency funds to allow for an unforeseen increase in the property insurance expense from $79,275 to $206,319.
Good morning again, Commissioners. Kellen Seitz, OVG 360 in the Stormont Vale Event Center. This request is a little bit different in the sense that our contract for management services of the facility does require us to bring any unforeseen or additional indirect or infrastructural expenses to you to cover. During the budgeting process over the last number of years, our property insurance premium request has hovered around a 10% increase, and so that's what was budgeted for this year. This year it actually came in quite significantly higher than that. Our budgeted amount for that policy for the 2023 year was $79,275, and the actual calculated expense of that policy premium for this year is right around $206,319. So what we're asking for is an amendment to our budget request for 2023 to increase that variance of about $127,000. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have on this request.
Commissioner Mays.
Kellen, obviously OVG 360 is a big company. You guys have venues all over the world. How does this compare with similar venues around the country, or in our region at least?
Yeah, I don't know if I can answer how it compares financially in terms of the policy premium cost itself, but what I can say is it's my understanding that most of the policy premiums are held by the clients in the venues in which we operate and don't necessarily lie on our books, if you will. This is a little bit different and a little bit unique, but it is what's being done and has been done since the facility was under third-party management, even prior to us. So it is a budgeting item that we track and calculate for each year. I can tell you that from the time that we've been operating the facility since 2017, we haven't seen an increase like this. Not only just in the property insurance premium itself, but in other areas of our indirect expenditures and infrastructural spends. We typically try and budget around a 10% to 20% increase when we're talking about things like, payroll, health and benefit costs, and those seem to kind of fall in line, and that's kind of where we budgeted again this year. Obviously, this is quite a bit different.
Yeah, you budgeted a 10% increase, and we got a 160% increase by my calculations. Not exactly a good situation. So we've been doing it this way for a while. Would you maybe work with the clerk and see if we can figure out a better way to do it? Is there a different way to do it?
I did have to work with audit finance, because I don't work with the because what he's talking about is the actual process, how.
The structure,
How
right.
we actually structure the way we pay for things for Stormont Valley Event Center. And the county pays, Jim, correct, county pays, has a fund, I think, out there that they pay for it, as opposed to them covering all the costs or us covering all the costs.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is, it sounds like our structure is unique when compared to other venues.
I think most of the policies, it's my understanding, are typically held with the client, but I don't think this is the only policy that is probably hitting our management budgetary process for our other facilities. But, you know, I think it is a little bit unique in the sense that, you know, I think you could probably make an argument both ways, right? It is an expense that's incurred because the facility is there and we are operating that facility. I guess where it's calculated and kind of where the funds are held for that expenditure is kind of, you know, up to you or up to us on kind of how we want to manage that.
Jim Kraus, Shawnee County Councilor. Yes, I think the way we do it leads to more transparency because it puts the cost of that facility under that facility, so that instead of just being held in the general fund or something that applies generally to the county, we know exactly what cost was generated by that facility and it's accounted for by that facility. So I would think that's the reason why it's being done that way here.
I mean, maybe the structure's fine, but it just seems like an unreasonable increase. And I know it has nothing to do with you. This is our insurance carrier that's doing it, but it really seems like we got to figure out a way to do this differently because, I mean, this is not sustainable.
But Commissioner Mays, you might recall Willis Towers Watson came in at the first of the year after our budget was set, indicating that we were going to have $1 million increase in our premium. This is just a direct impact from that increase to our premiums. And so, I mean, just letting the Stormont Vale, because the alternative is we don't approve this request and Stormont Vale Event Center OVG 360 is going to have to find close to $200,000 that they cut within their operations budget. So.
Well, I mean, we'll continue the conversation. How about that?
Sure.
So, okay.
But I think, you know, this
I
is
mean, I'm
just
gonna-
recognizing that, well, and Willis Towers Watson, we've worked with, trying to work with Willis Towers Watson. I know Ms. Beck has been reaching out to them and looking at couple different options and opportunities, and we had that work session as well.
And we are not, I mean, given, as a municipality, there's not very many insurance companies that want to take on the liability. So we're limited across the country. I mean, it's just it. And Travelers happens to be one that does still cover them. The 3 of the counties that we checked with, and they have had much larger increases for consecutive years to the tune of, you know, several hundred thousand, 700%, several 100%. So this is obviously our first, you know, this is the first time that we've had to have this because we had the kind of a break for 2 years. But and I just spoke to one of our representatives yesterday. I meet with him, we talk with him once a month, but so spoke with him yesterday, and he said some of the stuff is coming down a little bit. Some of the other ancillary policies or the coverage or the rates seem to be taking a little bit of a let up, but he said property is still strong. So we don't know what's going to happen coming into the new year, but they're you know, it's the you know, who we are, I guess. Nobody wants to cover us.
Well, I think the increase is directly related to the cost of construction now. It's just
Well, it's everything, you know.
all materials and everything. It's just, everything's going up, and insurance is reflecting that now.
I'll move approval.
I'll second. Motion's been made by Commissioner May, seconded by Commissioner Rickon. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Next item.
Item 5, public comment.
You know, I don't have anyone signed up, but if there's anyone from the public here that wish to speak, it's your opportunity. I see none, so next item.
Item 6, administrative communications.
Tim Laurent, Parks and Recreation. So just wanted to remind everybody that our swimming pool's open this weekend. I'm happy to announce that we are fully staffed. So I want to thank the staff that we put a lot of time and did a lot of things differently this year, and I think that effort has paid off. We've got the spray pads are already open. All the pools are ready to go with one exception. The wave pool at Midwest Health Aquatic Center has a leak, and we're having a heck of a time trying to figure it out. So staff has been working on it for at least 2 weeks. We actually filled it and then came back the next day and it was empty. So at this point, we are going to, with this sort of a last resort, we're going to remove a little bit of concrete, not from the basin, but from the deck. And it's actually a little bit away from the basin or the swim area, but so that we can get a camera down inside. We have tried multiple times, not us, but contractors, to get a camera down in there to diagnose where this is, but they can't get it far enough. There's some obstruction in there that they can't get around. So we're going to need to go at a different angle. So we'll take out a bit of concrete. We'll make sure that we block that off. We do plan to open up the rest of the pool at a discounted rate. So we'll make sure that we get that word out so people understand. But that is the one bit of bad news. So be happy to answer any questions about that.
So at this point, we don't know if the leak is in the pool itself, in the plumbing, in the recirculation, in the pumps, or where the leak may be.
We don't know for sure, but we have a pretty good idea that it's under the basin somewhere. That accurate? Yeah.
Well, I mean, the last time we dealt with a pool leak was Rossville, I think, wasn't it? And it took a long time to get that figured out.
Actually, the very last one we dealt with was Oakland.
Okay.
And that only took us about 2 weeks. So, we're always hoping for the best case scenario. I think if everything works out the way we think it could, we could be open in maybe 2 weeks, but we'll know more here in the next day or so. They're removing concrete, I think, as we speak. So
All right, keep us posted.
Tim's, your lifeguard situation look good?
looks great. Yeah, we're ready to roll. We're fully staffed.
Good news.
But we still want more, right?
Yes, absolutely, please. Yeah, that's one thing. You usually start out well, and then, those hot summers start to wear on the guards, and then, yeah, we're always taking applications.
What about your camp counselors and the other positions?
Yeah, I think we're doing better. I think amenities was one area, maybe O'Reilly left, that we're still needing some folks. But by and large, we're heads and tails above where we were last year, so we feel good about it.
Okay.
I noticed on the news they were talking about construction at the campgrounds. How's that
Yeah,
going?
it's going really well. So the goal there is to be complete by June 30th. We want to make sure that we're ready to go for that July 4th holiday. So things, they're a little bit ahead of schedule, and I don't want to jinx it, but a little bit ahead of schedule and a little bit under budget right now. So things are going very well.
Floating playgrounds opening this weekend too?
It is, absolutely. Yeah. Had to do a little repair there. One of the features wasn't holding air, but we were able to pull it back out, patch it, and it's ready to roll.
Great.
All right, well, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Morning, Commissioners. Just a quick reminder for the public and as well as everyone else here as well. Next Thursday at noon is filing deadline for city offices and for school district offices. So just a quick reminder for those that want to file, the deadline is quick approaching, a week. And just a reminder, noon, I think sometimes people forget about that noon June 1st being the deadline. So just a reminder that it's closes at noon, so we're taking filings for those offices up until that time. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Bill Sutton, Shawnee County Solid Waste. I'd just like to remind everybody that in observance of Memorial Day on Monday, our offices will be closed and we'll be shifting the schedule to the right by one day. Monday customers will be picked up Tuesday, with Wednesday being the double day with our Tuesday and Wednesday customers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kearney House Director of Public Works, a reminder to the commissioners and the public that beginning Tuesday, May 30th, Nottingham Road will be closed to through traffic, including the two interior intersections. The intersections at 33rd and Urish Road and 37th at Nottingham will remain open during construction. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Larry Moss, Shawnee County Treasurer. It's not obvious if you just drive by casually, but the parking lot to the courthouse is now open. So we're pleased to announce that. We've kind of trained the public not to come to the courthouse because of the parking, but it is open. It was amazing yesterday. It was open all day, and only a few people parked in that lot on the north side, but it is open. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank Nelda as well as Cine Corporation for the great job they did in our office. They really worked hard and got us back in there in short order. Did a lot of work, and we appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
Anyone else? What's next?
Do the commissioners have anything to, any you have any?
Oh, yes. Commissioner Cutt.
No, I don't.
Nothing to add. Mr. Mays?
The weather's going to be great this weekend. Get out and take advantage of it. Evans Carnival is at the event center, I think through Sunday, is it? Monday. Okay, so several days there to get out and ride the Ferris wheel or tilt-a-whirl or whatever you like. Tonight is Eats and Beats at Evergy Plaza, starting at 6:30. The band is called The Bash. That's a lot of fun. Food trucks, live music. Should be a lot of people there because the weather's going to be good. So enjoy the weather.
Yeah, well, I don't have much to add. Cat backers are meeting tonight at Ag Hall, so all you Wildcat fans, get an opportunity. What's next?
Item 7, executive session.
Okay, we do have a need to go into executive session, not to exceed 60 minutes for the following reasons: to discuss employer-employee negotiations, whether or not in consultation with the representative or representatives of the public body or agency, specifically to discuss negotiations with the Teamsters. Second, for consultation with the attorney for the public body or agency, which would be deemed privileged, and an attorney-client relationship, specifically to discuss pending litigation. And third, for consultation with the attorney for the public body or agency, which would be deemed privileged in an attorney-client relationship, specifically to discuss possible acquisition of property. Action is possible following this executive session. Let's go at 10 o'clock. That give us enough time to sign everything? Let's shoot for 10 o'clock. We'll start then. That's my motion.
Did we have a duration?
60 minutes.
60
Okay.
minutes, yeah.
All right. I'll second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. So, like I say, we'll go into executive session at 10 o'clock. Okay, we are, is she ready?
Go.
Okay, we are back in session, no action taken at this time.
And
We are adjourned. Thank you. And?